Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to an all new episode of Talkin Ish, a podcast amongst friends. I am Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro. And ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your monitors, your television sets, or check your internet connections. We are doing a dynamic duo episode today. Yes, y'all know we record on Sundays, we drop on Wednesdays, but this Sunday that we're recording is a day for the moms. So the queens of podcasting took some time off today because I think they want to either spend time or completely ignore their families on this day. So, however they spend it, I am happy with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a quick happy Mother's Day to Coretta with the Beretta, Miss Elaine Terragano, that beautiful ray of sunshine, Miss Araya Anderson, and our priestess of a light skinned revolution, the slightly annoyed chick, Miss Britt Williams. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. We love you. Well, I love you. Jazz loves you as well.
Love
And
y'all.
we hope you're having a wonderful day, as well as all the moms who are celebrating today because this is y'all day. If your kids aren't making you breakfast, if they're not cleaning the house for you, you know what? I'm not going, I'm gonna say it. Y'all gave birth to some worthless children. I'm just gonna say it now. They should know today is your day. You should be relaxing and kicking your feet up or having brunch with other moms. That's just my call. That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. So
Speak on it.
hey, look, I'm gonna put it out there. And Father's Day, I'm gonna give the same love to the dads who doing the business as well. So, but y'all see who here with me. Y'all know who she is, but it's always good to give an introduction regardless. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up, y'all, for the philanderer of feet, the CEO of Toes R Us, Westerto's own Togarian of the highest order. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully my applause are working. Y'all give it up for Miss Jazz. One half, as Britt would say, or Helene, the better half of the Was It Good Though podcast. Show your love. She's in the building with us. I'm hoping this thing works. Oh my goodness. You know what? Every time. Dear Riverside,
It's
fix your stuff. But I will do it. Yay.
Thank you. Amazing
Woo!
introduction. Better than
I'm
Daenerys is when the breaker of chains and all of that. Like, nah, Anthony got that. Did a great job. Thank you. So
well, I
glad
didn't
to
want to
be
say
here.
the saleswoman of souls, SOLE, but most folks wouldn't catch it. So I'd have to spell it every time. So, but no, thank you so much for joining me. It was supposed to be Jason was supposed to join us, but he's got some other things going on. Shout out to Mr. Jason Wallace, the other half of their dynamic duo on Was It Good Though podcast, which has dropped a
Our sinners
wonderful
review.
a wonderful Sinners review that featured myself and Helene,
Yes.
along with Chris, Ivy, and Lisa.
Yes.
I said that
We
right,
had
Miss
a
Lisa. Yes.
Yeah, you remember everybody. Thank you. Yeah, we had an amazing episode. It was so much dialogue and conversation. We had to break it up into two.
Okay.
So part two, by the time this episode drops, part two would have already be out. So part
Okay.
one and two are available on streams.
If
So
you have yet to watch it or watch any of their podcast episodes, shame on you. Shame. I will put it in the description as well as hopefully put a little card that'll pop up either here or here on the screen. I have no idea. But definitely check them out. They are truly damn amazing. I love being on there because I get to talk about movies because I am a movie nerd. I have no shame. Um, and so on and so forth. So definitely check out the Was It Good Though podcast, which new episodes drop what every
every Tuesday and available on all streaming forums, and you can watch on YouTube as well.
watch on
So
YouTube. See their beautiful faces. See the expressions on Jason when Jazz says something that angers him or he gets caught up in something like the seven deadly sins where he catches mad attitude.
Listen,
That
I
that
would
had
say
me laughing inside the whole time.
you and Helene be starting a lot of that stuff.
I
Y'all,
don't be
y'all,
starting nothing.
nah, we got you in 4K, Anthony. We
You
do, but the sinners part, nah. I was waiting. I said he gonna bring this up. He gonna bring this up. I was like, nah.
it was so funny too when he was like, yeah, it's like the seven deadly sins, and you're like, yeah, well, what are they? And I'm like, yo, you ain't got to put him on blast. Let the man.
But Anthony, I was asking because please tell me where you saw him because me and Chris wanted to know.
Right.
But I love that we were able to break it down and come to a very good solution in that because you also said Sammy and then his father, and I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
So,
And the funny thing, like, what I do love being on there and getting to talk with y'all about movies is we are not auteurs. We are not actors. We are not writers. Well, none of them. We are just moviegoers. And you could wait for somebody to write in Variety or the Hollywood Reporter or go check out places like Screen Rant or Screen Crush or Collider. Those folks. No. We are Joe Schmoes who just enjoy going to the movies. And I love the conversations because it's stuff that I think sometimes even the pros will miss.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's good in raw dialogue and conversation.
Yes.
To where we can come to it and then have discussions because that's pretty much what we want to have. We brought our movie chat into a podcast. So we're not going to always be right in that moment. And that's completely fine because we do not mind coming back being like, all right, I'll say, Jason, you was right. Anthony, you made a good point last week. I wasn't with you, but then I had to let it marinate and you was throwing facts. So that's why I think it's the authentic conversation that we have on the podcast. It's a good time.
Oh yeah.
And we be cussing each other out, but it's all love.
Oh God, yeah. But I highly recommend y'all give it a watch, man. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You will laugh. You may cry. 9 out of 10, you're gonna cry because they may not agree with your little sad little opinions of the movie you saw. It might be a movie you love dearly, and then you just hear Jason say, "I fucking hated it."
Coming to America.
Yeah, the original or Coming to America.
The original Coming to America.
You see, and this is why Jason doesn't have many friends in his circle, you know. But again, he listens to a Canadian rapper who's trying to sue the music industry. So we just gotta let it ride. Oh yeah, I'm never gonna let that down.
Shout out to Kendrick. Had a great concert. Sorry, I don't mean to bring that up.
No, you need to bring that up because what I tell y'all, I'm from Louisiana, and when we throw curses on people, they happen. And I threw a curse out at Jazz and Jason because it was out of my heartbreak and anger because I wasn't able to go see Kendrick in Houston. Sorry, I ain't got no job. I can't put out $200-300 just yet. So I told him, I hope Mother Nature throws her wrath and rain on their ass. And lo and behold,
crazy
rain. But
it was lit.
One rainstorm don't stop no show because I watched the videos how people were in the moment. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was extremely beautiful. Kendrick came out there, did his thing. SZA came out. We all know it's raining. SZA gonna be running around like Mother Nature's little child, prancing and skipping and doing everything.
It was a great time to where like the rain was more so of an inconvenience, but it definitely didn't stop anything. We was still lit. We had a good time. It was so packed. And it's funny because I was talking to Ivy and I told him, I was just like, I hate that it rained. And Ivy was like, I would have loved to be out there in the rain because he saw Kendrick a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So, and I think it rained at the Atlanta show, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. But
it was one of the shows I saw where he was performing N95. And it was the part where, he says, take off the foo-foo, take off the, the flexing the Wi-Fi, take off the microwave streams. And I'm going to take it off top fives. I'm sorry, y'all. When I'm excited, I don't get the lyrics all the way. But when he says it's a real world outside and they go take that shit off, the thunder hit. At the same time, the pyro went and somebody said, okay, God doesn't like Drake. God really does not like Drake. This
Mm,
is not good. If the Lord is on your side, you are destined never to lose. And I laughed. I laughed. I thought it was funny. But
hmm.
watching people at the different shows from what was it? Minnesota was the first one, I believe. Minneapolis was the
I
first
think so.
show.
That was a sold out show as well,
So
I
all
believe.
of them were, I think they said Houston was 93% capacity, but 20 of the 23 dates are sold out. Period.
Mm,
Now the last three, or the three that weren't, was, I think Houston was 93 to 95%, but that still brought in over $9 million
right.
to both him and SZA as a show, like off the top. He's broken Eminem's record. Um, a lot of folks said this may be a $200 million gross
Mm.
of income coming in.
He sold
Who
out
knows?
Toronto.
Both shows. I believe both shows are sold out. The LA shows are done. They are. And this is why
How
I
you sell
say,
out your ops hometown?
oh girl,
That's
hey,
crazy.
I have no clue, but guess what?
Mm.
It's a blueprint. Put it in a
Ooh,
blueprint on how to really make your ops feel like they ain't shit. Put
yeah.
it in the blueprint, because whatchamacallit, what's that little squirrel, Jerry Mouse looking dude,
Squirrel.
academics.
Oh, chipmunk.
Yeah. Or as Screwface Jean called him, big back academics. He called that guy top five. And this is just a little, this, we're not doing, weekly wellness. We both well, as you can see. She saw Kendrick. So I don't care how the rest of her week went. Um, he brought it up with top five, and he was talking about, well, sources tell me, and I heard that Kendrick got a special video just for the Toronto shows. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sorry, that dude reminds me so much of Bonita Betrayal from In Living Color. I don't know, you're young. If you don't remember who Bonita Betrayal is, I would say Google it, but I'll give you a quick history. In Living Color, skit show from the 1990s, early
Oh
90s,
yeah.
created by Keenan Ivory Wayans, featuring his whole family. It was a nepotism smorgasbord, but it was funny as hell. His sister, his young sister, Kim Waynes, portrayed a character named Bonita Betrayal.
In the window with the
Yes,
rollers. I remember her.
she
Yes.
was the
I didn't
neighborhood
remember the
gossip.
name, but
And she would always say, well, that's what I heard. Or she would always have the gossip of the neighborhood. But there was this one woman that you never talked about, and that was Miss Jenkins. Don't nobody talk about Miss Jenkins. And then she's like, Miss Jenkins is the heart and soul of this neighborhood. And then all of a sudden she said, Brett smells so bad. Yeah, like she would have some shade to throw at this old woman, right? Hair so short, she had to roll it with rice. And it's like, oh Lord, here we go. That is academics when it comes to Drake. But brought up this whole thing with top five talking about, oh, well, I want Kendrick to walk through Toronto, come to Toronto with no bodyguards. And I'm like, dude, go touch grass. Like, I
you know
just
he
need
ain't.
fans to just go touch grass. I just want to enjoy what I'm seeing at these concerts. And I rarely go into the comments now. I just watch it. And I
Mhm.
hear the crowd, and I hear people screaming top of their lungs, and people reciting lyrics, and the energy that's there. And I'm like, I hope all of y'all get rained out, because I can't enjoy it. I'm mad now. The New York, New Jersey shows were crazy. Baby Keem showed up. I think
I did see
Roddy
that.
Rich showed up. K Tronada came out with SZA. Um, One of the videos I saw was some folks recording outside of MetLife Stadium while they were performing Not Like Us.
Mhm.
And they did the wop, 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 wop. And you hear them go, whoa. And the A minor was so loud. People, like, they had one dude just put his hoodie on, like, yo, it's over with. It's over. But I will give it to Carolina though. Y'all had y'all stadium shaking.
Listen,
Like the
because we
fit.
was in a Panther stadium,
Yeah, y'all had
so
that place shaking. So props to y'all, man. Props to Kendrick. Props to SZA. Congratulations on a successful tour so far. I wish them nothing but success. Beyonce is showing folks exactly how it's done, even with
yeah,
technical difficulties. This woman has not yet lost a step or a word. She hasn't, stuttered a lyric. And I bring that up because I really want to talk about what's been happening right now with folks who look like us, melanated folks in our culture, and our impact on the culture at large. American culture, the world culture, period. I mean, I sometimes I feel Jazz black folks are like that sign on the bridge in New Jersey, Trenton makes what the world takes. And or the old hip hop line, Manhattan keeps on making it, Brooklyn keeps on taking it. Well, Negroes keep on making it, everybody else and their mama keep on taking it. So recently, we are in the age of sinners, right? I don't know, man. I feel like we're kind of in this black excellence renaissance again.
yes,
Even with the insanity of a lot of those folks who would claim black excellence are having somewhat of a downfall period, Diddy. Um, we're back in that phase again. It's like a full moon effect. We're bringing these things out to the masses, and people are gravitating towards it, and they want more of it.
yeah.
But it seems, and let me know if I'm wrong, it seems like every time there's a moment of black joy celebrating black excellence, there's this curse that looms over it, or an asterisk, if you will. Rebecca Rubin, yeah, I remember you. I ain't never letting you sleep. And you got to go read the Variety and what was it, the New York Times
Oh,
article
the
on
article.
sinners.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're basically describing what Sinners was.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically describing when you have us as a culture in our own space, enjoying and celebrating us. That curse that you mentioned, Rimrick from Sinners,
Yeah.
comes and tries to interfere, try to join in on what we already have when they're not welcome, when it wasn't asked. Ain't nobody
Mm-hmm.
asked y'all to come over here. Don't nobody want your ideas, and we're not trying to shift anything that we have. And so I we definitely seeing that a lot. It's just like, why do y'all feel like y'all have to, or feel like we need to include you, especially in this particular moment?
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand there's different scenarios change, but it doesn't need to be a always, oh, Black Panther, we were celebrating that years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't got this over here. Y'all ain't got that. Like, wait a minute. There have been black projects that have been successful that does not need to include everybody else. And then there's projects where, yes, we can all come together.
Right.
White people have that same thing. I don't need to look at a project that's majority white to be like, why, where is the black folks at? And feel like that's the only way I can enjoy it. I can enjoy something that's all white. And I'll be like, okay, we ain't need no black people in there. That was cool. The Monkey, hilarious movie.
Mm-hmm.
Horror that dropped earlier this year. But I mean, it's just like, why do we always have to do it when it's majority of us and it's successful and we're all on the same page, and not having people downplay it or push negative tones? Because I would say black people are very critical of our own,
Yeah.
very critical. So, and it's just like the positive energy that Sinners was getting, because I was just waiting for somebody to try to downplay it.
Oh, and they came in droves. They
And
came
I
in
was,
droves.
some of those videos on TikTok, I was like, I'm not watching that.
You know
And I
what?
know you know which one I'm talking about too.
Is it the one featuring the Latino, or
Yes.
okay, because there's two I really want to touch on for real, and one that's one of them.
Okay.
Um, so let's just go ahead and get at it. It's been a Sinners came out what, this last month? Yeah, it was in
April,
April.
yeah.
So it's almost a month since it's been out. Um, and yes, with movies like this, you're gonna get those who like to break them down, like the Was It Good Though podcast. Folks who were looking for the historical aspects of it, but also those who are just breaking it down just to talk about hate and why not and where was and what abouts. And there was this one critic who did a TikTok video breaking down and asking why there was no Latino representation in Sinners. And it gotten to the point where for me, if you would have stuck with, oh, well, Ryan Coogler took it from Dusk Till Dawn, I'd have been like, okay, we're good there. But when you start asking, well, where were we? Why weren't we in it? Why you doing the movie and there's no representation of us? And to that I just go, hey my guy, this is Mississippi, Clarksdale, Mississippi, era 19 to the 30 damn 2.
I was gonna ask Anthony, were there any Latinos in that area during that time?
Few and very far between. Now, there are going to be folks that say, well, we were there, we were there. It is true. Yes, there were Latinos down south, of course. Hey, Mexico, Texas, they migrated into Louisiana. Many of them came as, here's the dirty word, migrant workers on variable day passes, day work visas, things like that, to come work in the fields or come sell their wares, and then they were going back home. Many of them didn't stay. So his whole observation was, I saw the tamale sign and I'm like, oh, you want it because the sign was there. That that don't help nothing. A lot of the migrants used to come with their cuisine, used to bring their foods, tamales and other foods indigenous to Mexico. And yes, they did interact with the whites who lived in Louisiana and Mississippi, as well as, in Louisiana. That's why here in Louisiana we have, they say it's famous, Louisiana meat pies.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just an empanada. And when you look at it, you go, oh, okay, it's an empanada. Cool, great. There is inspiration in the cuisines here and in Mississippi. But the population was less than Native Americans. So when you see Native American representation in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the movie, automatic white representation, duh. Irish representation, European representation, because down south there's an influx of Irish, German, Italian. I'm telling you, you come to Louisiana, hit New Orleans, you'll see it. Come to Southwest Louisiana, you'll see a strong German population. So the man did his research and he's just using what he found, what researchers told him. Just like with Asian folks, I didn't. Why are the Asians there? They've been there.
Yeah.
They came, they got kicked out, they came back. It's just what it is. And they were the folks who ran some of the stores.
Right.
And if you haven't seen the movie, it's not much of a spoiler, but the Asian couple, well, the family, they own two stores. There was one store on the black side of the street. There was a store on the white side of the street. That's how it was back then. And the Asian community were put right in the middle. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they dealt with black folks. They dealt with white folks. Now, going back to the guy who was having a hissy fit, and I say it that way. I think the biggest problem is, again, like you said, we create some, everybody want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But when people like Robert Rodriguez makes movies, do you hear any black commentary, any black complaints about where is black representation in a Robert Rodriguez movie?
No.
Have you seen El Mariachi?
No.
Have you seen Desperado?
Yes. I love that movie.
Love it
Did I
too.
see any black folks? No.
Okay.
I don't remember any.
From Dusk to Dawn, Fred Williamson, and one random stripper.
It was strippers in Desperado?
No, from Dusk to Dawn. The
Oh,
dancer.
yes.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
She got killed.
None of them are on. Well, Fred Williamson was on one of the posters. But again, we don't complain. We go see movies. We enjoy it. We walk out. Yo, that's cool. That's like us going to see martial arts films and being mad that there are no black people in them. You know, why is it such a thing to where we have to be the welcoming party every time? Every time. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Ryan Coogler, again, notice something. Ryan Coogler brought in I guess they were what, Aztec or Incan,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pelican community. I I call them Atlanteans. I'm sorry, it is what it is. If your name is Namor, I look at you as an Atlantean. But and I'm just comic booky. That's what it is. But he brought a Latin indigenous,
Hmm.
the indigenous people into the mix and brought them in. It's not enough. Where were y'all for Blue Beetle?
I still haven't seen that,
It's
but
actually a fun movie.
I heard it was.
It was a
I heard it
fun
was.
movie.
So
But y'all didn't go out in droves.
they're not pushing their own stuff that has their own representation, but they're
Mm-hmm.
looking for themselves to be in films that are predominantly black.
Yeah.
That math doesn't math.
Nope.
So that's just like me not going to see any black led
Mm-hmm.
projects. And I'm just like, why are there no more black folks in this new superhero movie or this new thriller or anything like that? It's just like, you're not even supporting your own projects that feature people that look like you, but you want to complain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just, the logic seems to be missing.
Mm-hmm.
Because our Blue Beetle was the first project under what's my
James
guy's
Gunn.
name? James Gunn, when he doing DC.
Well,
And so,
he came in.
well, yeah,
The movie was
came in.
already made, and they were
Yeah,
gonna scrap it. Literally,
really.
they were gonna scrap it. It was gonna be a part of all the movies that they scrapped. Remember, they did a Batwoman movie that
Yeah.
never saw the light of day. They this was the turmoil that was going on with Warner Brothers, because it was right around the time Discovery was getting ready to purchase
Mm-hmm.
them, and they were trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Spent all that
And
money.
they hired James Gunn. Blue Beetle was already pretty much done, just waiting
Right.
for the green light to be released, and it was supposed to be the new era of DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then Ezra Miller started doing his dumb thing, and the Flash movie was really
I thought that was the last one though. I thought the Flash was last before James Gunn's name started being attached to projects after
he
that.
attached himself to it, but he wasn't in control of Blue Beetle, if I
Oh,
remember
okay.
right,
Okay.
because that was already going on during
Right.
him, before him getting the spot.
Because they dropped the
As
same summer. I think they dropped a couple of months
Yeah,
apart.
it was Flash, then Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And James Gunn said, well, I'm gonna try and make folks happy. Blue Beetle we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep Blue Beetle. So yeah, you can say it's in the James Gunn era, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine. But y'all didn't show up. Now, how did the movie do outside of America? I don't know. What was the global take? Did it? Hopefully, it did well in Latin America. Hopefully it
Yeah.
did well in other Spanish speaking countries. But again, it was there for y'all, and I get it. If you didn't like what you saw, okay, I totally understand it. Then make us think about it. You didn't like how you were being represented. But again, Latinos aren't a monolith, just like black folks aren't a monolith. There are many. You have Central America, you have South America, you have the Caribbean. They all think differently. You
Hmm.
know, they speak their oppressor's language, but again, they all they don't all fit into one. How can I put it? They don't fit into one hole. You don't just put them in one jar and say, okay, we're done. But again,
Yeah.
I just looked at it, I was like, man, why is it every time we have a moment, y'all want to come in the goddamn moment?
Because they to try to tear it down, to try to cause drama, unnecessary confrontation, all of that. It's just like this ain't got nothing to do with you. Let us have this. And it's my thing is like the more success sinners got,
Mm-hmm.
the more you have people like that all black led film, black director, black writer. It should not be that successful.
Right.
Because realistically, a lot of people hate to see black folks winning. They hate to see us celebrate. They hate to see us congratulate. And you have TikToks, people. It's just been Sinners has been the wave right now.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing you have so many people that went to go see it multiple times, and seeing Sinners multiple times at IMAX. That's between $15-$20, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I have the A-listers, but that's a lot of money, especially just for one person.
Mm-hmm.
And people were going out to see this film. So it's not just, oh, y'all got a bunch of people to go see it. You got a bunch of people to go see it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just a vampire. It's just what he was able to bring. And it wasn't a remake. It wasn't a sequel. It wasn't a prequel.
Right.
It was an original story that had so much culture in it. So they probably was fighting the air watching this movie. Like when is my culture gonna show up?
Right.
So
And,
it's
but again, when directors who are Latino, Hispanic make their stuff, ain't nobody sitting there, and again, like I said, if it is, show me.
yeah.
Because I would say the same thing if it was a black commentator or a black content creator who's whining about, well, where's our representation? Hey, look, that's on them. They wanted to do the movie how they saw fit. That's them. Here's how you really fight it. Don't go see it. Don't put your money in it.
Yeah.
Let them pay their dollars, let them support it, and you keep it moving. And when something comes up that you feel like, oh, the representation for people like me are strong, I'm gonna support it as much as possible. You know.
But that doing that, you people be bothered. They be
Mm,
upset. And they
yeah.
just like, let me make a video because especially with something that's been getting so much positive feedback, the people that say it wasn't that good,
Mm-hmm.
the people that say, oh, I don't get the hype, when you're pretty much going against the majority, you get more attention on you.
True.
So you're gonna have those kind of people. But I would like I don't go to movies like, oh, let me see what I can say negative about this after it's done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate watch, but I know people these days they hate watch films. I think MCU probably gets it more than anybody else. But a black film that's been getting so much praise, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you had a lot of people just like, I'm just gonna go see it so I can hate it, make a video on it, and tell all these people it's not worth the hype. The acting was not good. I
Right.
don't understand the story. And like for me, if it's a film that deals with a lot of our culture, and if there is a white critic or a critic that's not black, that's just like, well, I didn't understand the story. And I'm like, well, you couldn't relate to it. This deals with a culture that you have no kind of connection to.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, I don't need my culture to be in something for me to be like, okay, I can see what they were doing. I'll say a comedy that dropped a few years ago is Joyride.
Yeah.
That movie is hilarious. I don't think there was a black person in that, and if so, I cannot remember them. But it doesn't matter because I was entertained by that movie, their culture, everything that they was going through.
Is that the one with Aquafina?
No, it's the one with Stephanie. I can't think of her name, but she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once
Okay, she
with
played
the
the
four
daughter.
friends. Yes,
Did she play the
yes,
main daughter? Okay. All right.
yes.
So again, was anybody saying where's the Latino representation? But okay, we're done.
You
We're
see,
done.
I mean,
We're done.
it's just like everybody makes their movies that's based on their culture and their
Right.
experiences, and you don't have to include everybody if you're making a good film with a good story.
Mm-hmm.
But you have those people like, I need to see myself in this. And if you were one of those people, I'm sorry, you're going to limit yourself on films.
Yeah.
It's okay to see something that's outside of the norm, that's a different culture. It's completely fine. And no, it doesn't have to include white people all the time. All like every movie doesn't need to center around a white character, a white conflict. It doesn't. Let's see what other cultures can do and bring to the
Yeah.
table. And let's uplift them and support them without bitching and moaning about, oh, I didn't see anything black in there.
You
It's
know
like,
what?
well, they're in a space in an area where ain't really much black people anyway. So
Well, here's the thing. You know what they call white conflict?
no.
Conflict. You know what they call black conflict? Conflict. It's the same. Like we all go through a lot of the same things. We all go through loss. We all go through joy. We all have pain. It's just the way on how we deal with it might be somewhat different. You know what I'm saying? And if you know what I love? They don't complain about a Tyler Perry movie.
Do you know why, Anthony? Do you know why?
Oh, I
Look,
know why.
why did you trigger me today?
I don't know. I just felt like I
Because he just had an alert of his new project coming out that's starring Taraji.
okay.
I hate his fucking catalog. Excuse me, I don't hate his catalog. I hate his address book because he has a long list of talent he can call for the bullshit he puts them in. Anthony, they said they recorded it in 4 days.
They shot it in 4 days. They shot
four
this in four.
days. And
You know
I'm
what?
seeing the still images. Taraji look like she going through some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you keep putting her through this? But I'm a chill.
Well, and you know what's so funny? It's the I love how you say they recorded it because it makes me feel like they got a camcorder from 1995, a
Shit, possibly.
JVC
It's
or a
somebody
Panasonic,
iPhone.
and just say, "Hey, just hold the camera and pan left to right.
That's
You'll be
it.
fine. You'll
That's
be
probably,
fine."
they got iPhones.
Right. But you know what's funny though? And this is why I say, look, yeah, his movies aren't the best. And we're not, it's not a Tyler Perry dog session. But he does remind me of the Lloyd Kaufmans and the Roger Cormans, right? That's Tyler Perry. If you don't know who Lloyd Kaufman is, him and Michael Hers created Tromaville, Trauma Films, uh, My Childhood, The Toxic Avenger, Class of Nukem High. Um,
They're making a remake of that. A
what? Oh yeah, the
Toxic
Toxic
Avenger.
Avenger. Yeah, I thought they did. I thought it was done.
Well, I just saw that Tyrion from or Peter
Peter Dinklage is playing
Dinklage is in it.
the
Yes,
the
the
Toxic
toxic.
Avenger.
Right.
So I got to see that. You know, I mean, if you think of Roger Corman was a lot of the exploitation films, all the really crazy films in the 1960s and 70s and somewhat in the 50s. You know, they got it done cheap and it wasn't necessarily all good, but you have some gems once in a while, you know? Um that's Tyler Perry to me. He's that, guerrilla filmmaker. Hey, get it in, get it out. I'm writing everything. And also this is why he became a billionaire because all royalties go to him. So, once again, props to you. I mean, again, the art ain't shit, but the business side of it is on point. You know, as a friend told me, you got to respect Tyler Perry because he hires black people. And I just looked at him and I said, yeah, so does drug dealers.
Whew.
And we move on. But
Mm.
no, I'd look at it and I started thinking about the whole concept of our space, right? The things we create. And what people I think fail to see that are not of Black American culture, and it's not to ostracize y'all. A lot of the things we create comes from oppression, stress, and trauma. Period. You know, don't believe me? Look at the blues. Look at music in general. You know, gospel music, especially Black gospel music.
Hmm.
The blues, rock and roll. Now, rock and roll was more joyous, but come on. I'm down in the South and I'm being called a boy all day, and I get to this juke joint, or I get to this hole in the wall in the bottoms, and I just want to shake my ass and dance my cares away. Probably get a
Hmm.
little tail at the end of the end of the
All right,
night.
Sammy. All right, Sammy.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. That's his
All
bitch.
right, Kendrick. All right, Kendrick.
But even if you look at hip hop culture, it wasn't made in the best of
No,
circumstances. The
you
Bronx
listen
was
to the
not.
lyrics. It was
Yeah.
like they were going through something in the way that they were able to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because around that time in the 80s and 90s, nobody was going to therapy.
No.
Black families weren't, a lot of the time, suck it up.
Yep.
So, where do you do with that aggression and all of that? The conflict that's going on around you, they put it in their music. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why that particular scene from Sinners, it brought me to tears because you see the impact of music within our culture and how it has elevated.
Right.
And we know, even though people sit up here and say a lot of the music, rock and roll, like a lot of it came from Black people. You know what I mean? And so they
Mm-hmm.
just try to say, "Oh, white person invented rock and roll." Really? It's
And then
like
they don't even say they invented it. They said they were the kings of it. They
right.
ruled it. They owned it. It was theirs. And when I first thought about it, I say, "Oh, a king." Well, yeah, most kings don't earn some of their stuff. They take it.
There
So,
you go.
okay, great term, but that ruler died on the toilet. Uh, he died on the throne. It makes sense now. You know what? Look, rest in peace, to Elvis. Straight up, regardless of how people thought about him. I hate. I don't even hate to say it. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be known that Black folks were the progenitors of that music. It took him to be in the front for Little Richard to yell as loud as he could to say he was the architect. And at the end of the day, that man outlived those who stole from him. But sadly,
That's
those who
crazy.
stole from him have legacies and wealth generation and wealthy generations that they fed off of his
It's like
his art.
just think about that, like outliving the people that stole from you
Yeah.
and watching the success that they were able to build and have from
Mm-hmm.
something that was your creation. Whew.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. And when we look at it, I was looking at it, excuse me, I didn't mean to say we. I was looking at the Met Gala, right? I was looking at all the pictures and everybody talking about it. And the theme was Black dandyism,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, okay. I like that. That makes sense. You know, talking about the dandy movement of the 1920s and 30s, where Black folks were taking the European style of dress and adding what we'd like to say some seasoning to that pot. And I thought it was a beautiful thing. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. But again, with a blessing always comes a curse. And there were folks whining about it and complaining. Oh, why did it have to be Black dandyism? It could have just been the dandyism movement, the dress and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Pharrell, it was one of the people who sponsored and created the event. So he went that route. Why do you have to ask these dumb questions all the time? When y'all do the Met, nobody comes in and says, well, why is it not this and why is it not that? No. Okay, you look like a damn chessboard. All right.
It's on theme. So shout out to the designer. They did a
Yeah,
great, unique job with you. But do you think there's
exactly.
going to be a increase in those questions, especially with where we are in today's society in our country? Because
Oh,
I can see that to where it's just like
hmm
anything black folks celebrating something that's going on, and why did it have to be this? Why did this have to be the thing? Why are we?
hmm
They're still asking questions. How is there a black? God, I can't.
the Smithsonian, the museum.
No, no, the
Oh,
song that they sing before sporting events.
oh, the Black
Why
National
is
Anthem. Lift every
yes,
voice and sing.
yes, asking that, and it's just like all of these things, all of these, and I'm just like, do y'all not realize? But I guess not. People
Yeah.
live in their ignorance. It's just like at the end, the beginning of the day,
hmm
this country has always been split. Even though you might try to put up a disguise of like, oh no, we're all treated equal. No, we not.
Yeah.
Not everywhere in this country. So y'all, let's. And now you have more people being more open with their racism now, especially with who our president is and things like
Right.
that. So I feel like we're
And
going to
getting
start
paid
getting.
for it, mind you. Getting almost $1
Listen.
million for it, mind you.
And
Ooh, that
so
and
the
that thing
more
looked like a
black
meth head.
success, right? Because I'll say like this year alone, Ryan Coogler dropping a project,
Uh
Jordan
huh.
Peele is dropping a project,
Yep.
Spike Lee is dropping a
I
project this
cannot
year.
wait to see that.
So
I'm
we
excited
have
for that movie.
some of our most successful black directors dropping projects this year
hmm
alone. And when this black folks support, we have our moments, but I would say Sinners so much support. And I think that Spike Lee project as well. Jordan
Yeah.
Peele, I'm not sure because it's more of a horror suspense.
Right.
And so, and I feel like I knew some people that wanted to see Sinners that it was just like, I can't do the scary movies.
Right.
So,
Well, you had the black Christians who, oh, we went see it and then we walked out. I'm like, heifer,
oh
it's
my
called
God.
Sinners. I think.
Helene, Helene sent me a YouTube, or no,
Uh-huh.
excuse me, a TikTok of somebody saying, I went to go see Sinners. I was in there for about 30 minutes and I walked out because I was so scared. I had to speak to Jesus 3 times. And a dude jumped in and was like, so you mean to tell me you went out your way? There go her leg. I'm just talking about you. Hey, girl,
Good
happy
Lord.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mama's
I
Day.
was like, let me
Got that,
roll in here and see what the fuck they talking about.
got that forehead in here. That's what I'm talking about.
And that hair can't hide it. How you doing, ma'am? Welcome.
Fine.
Welcome.
What
But
you
no,
Oh
what you talking
man.
about?
I was talking about the TikTok you sent me of the girl that went to go see Sinners, and she said she had to go speak to and pray to the Lord 3 times
Oh, Lord Jesus.
to cleanse her soul. And I'm like, sis, you still, he saw that dick you sucked last night. You still a sinner.
Right.
Right. You think this movie was gonna stop you from being a sinner when you went to the movies to go buy a ticket for some shit called Sinners?
Well, it's like they didn't complain when they went to see Tyler Perry's Temptation. So what's the difference? What is the difference? Why is it that? But you know what it is too, Jazz, and I'm gonna segue into this because I'm off of the why we not involved, why this culture can't
Yeah.
be a part of it, or why this race can't be a part of it. I actually want to talk about us on this one now, because the so-called religified and the so-called high moral fiber folks, the FBAs, all these folks, well, foundational Black Americans, all those folks who were just finding things to pick at, the FBAs were pissed off because the way the movie portrayed the Asian community, oh man, that wasn't historically accurate. Negro, it's a film about vampires terrorizing Black people. History is out the window. Let it go.
They don't
Let
look
it
for that in
go.
other vampire movies.
Yeah.
Like nobody's watching Dust Till Dawn and asking no shit like that. Nobody's watching the Dracula and the last
Nobody's
voyage of the
watching Interview
Dementia.
with a Vampire and being like,
Right.
Louis' accent was not 12th century French, so this is not historically accurate.
Yeah. But again, like Jazz said earlier, negativity gets the watch. It gets the views. It gets the attention. But None so like our religified kinfolk. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. And one in particular worked my last good nerve, and that is the human blob Jason Whitlock. That
Ew.
Human blob.
that fool got on and had enough nerve to part his lips to say that Sinners was nakedly racist and anti-white.
How? Did he say how?
Yeah,
How is it anti-white? Like,
Because
how
we
do
want the
you
white
have
people
anything
in?
against white people? There were white
because
people in it.
he
No.
said the movie portrayed white folks as the villains and they are nothing but monsters. And I'm sitting there going, again, it's Clarksdale,
That
Mississippi, 1932. I, you know, I don't
I'm,
think every white person was a great friend to the black community then. I'm
it
just
was
saying.
it was black vampires in there too.
Yes.
So
Who
just
were converted
because
by your white friends. So they joined and drank the Kool-Aid.
and they was trying to get more black people to join their cult.
Yes.
So what is he?
Where's anti-whiteness? It was more pro-black because they wanted conformity to what the white guy wanted.
And plus, this particular white guy did not support the Klan.
Yeah. It was very
right.
friendly. He took offense, but I love it because I'll have to send it to y'all. I really didn't want to
The
play the
Cutlass.
clip, but he basically brought up the whole fact that it's the representation of whiteness in the movie that makes this movie very anti-white, un-American, and disrespectful. Also against the religious part because he did a movie review with three other folks, and it was kind of funny because the white guy that was with him, he tried to break down Sammy's spoiler alert for those who never seen Sinners, where Sammy kept his guitar and walked and drove off into the sunset and brought forth, was able to play his music and do this and that and the other. And he kept saying that Sammy held on to his sin. And I was looking at it like, okay, this is where Eurocentric religion doesn't understand the power and the blessings of music and how it actually saved black people in the end. To an extent now, let's be honest. That is more culture heavy heavier than what he could ever fathom.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't understand what the whole movie was talking about with the griots who held the power of the story, who can connect to the ancestors, who can connect to the gods, all of that. Like he lost it because Sammy went to church and Sammy didn't listen to the pastor who was his daddy, who was supposed to bring him the light of God and the truth of God, and went off with the devil. He continued to play that devil's music. And I'm just sitting there going, and the way he ended it was, well, that's my DEI commentary for this episode. And Jason Whitlock and the other two black guys were, oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, yep. And this is why Harriet would have shot many of us before taking us off the plantation.
Jason Shitlock does not speak for anybody but Jason Shitlock.
Yeah. It was horrible, but
he wants to be so adjacent to white folks. It's crazy. He's like real life Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's a lot of them like that. But
he should get an Uncle Ruckus tattoo.
He probably got one on his left ass cheek.
I was thinking his ankle.
Ooh.
Might be on his ankle. So
or
he had a little
stamp.
ankle. Ooh, his big ass. Oh, well,
I think he might have one of Steven over his left titty.
You think it's under his titty, so he lift it up and he show people?
Yeah, and it's the scene of Steven with his mouth like, yeah, and it's holding candy, master candy. I don't know.
Lord. But I mean,
I don't know.
Lord,
there's
Massa,
so many
no,
movies.
not Massa.
Like, there's so many movies that he could look at, and
Yeah.
you have so many cult movies, horror movies, suspense. And I just, why is it that this movie is the one that's just like, oh, now it's anti-black, or excuse me, it's anti-white
Because
because
it's
the
big.
villain is white.
No, because it's big. Because it's
So,
big and it's got attention and people are talking.
and that's like you keep moving the goalposts.
Mm-hmm.
If this movie was not that successful, you would not have created a ridiculous think piece and said, oh, this is anti-white. They're making the whites the devils of this. And it's just
Right.
like, actually, oh, it's successful. We got more people watching it. It's making all this money. Oh, no, let's go find an issue. Oh, the white people are devils in this. Wow.
Yep.
They're the ones going after all the other black people. And it's just like, you look at any other vampire movie. I'm you know.
But again, it's what gets the clickbait. It's what
This
gets
is
our
true.
attention. He
They
has
love
us
it.
talking. I'm talking about it,
The negativity.
But I and it also goes into our representation in this country, how people see us, how people react to us, how they interact with us. How folks who come from other countries, when they get here, look at us like many of us, like we're less than. You just came in here on a goddamn tub, in a tub, mind you. And you
Been
looking
there.
at me like I ain't shit? Where does that, how does that correlate? Like you said, the math was never mathing,
I don't know. But
And, oh, go ahead.
I honestly feel like we sometimes feed into it, the negativity,
Mm-hmm.
which blows it up. And I don't think we mean to do it. And I don't say we as in black people. I say all people.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, negativity, negative stories, negative feedback, all of that gets so much attention that it overshadows the positive comments and things that it's getting. And I think sometimes we, instead of making so much conversation about the negative shit, because eventually I treat negativity like
Mhm.
it's Pennywise or Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You keep giving it attention, it's going to grow, it's going to get more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, you know what? I'm not even trying to hear that. And I treat it like Kanye shit. Kanye is somebody that seeks attention because he always does something that's like, what can I do to get attention? It's just like, don't give him no attention. Don't say nothing
Right.
about him. Do not let his bullshit jump up on your timeline. Treat him like he's not there. And he will get smaller and smaller and no longer be as powerful or have as much attention as he did before.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I feel like that's the best way of treating negativity. Let's talk about the positives that this movie is getting,
Mm-hmm.
pushing all of that. Let people see the positive instead of us reacting and responding to the negativity. Because when we retweet that negative shit, other people see it that follow us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, nah, let me put some positive stuff that I'm seeing. Like the fact that people are saying Sinners is the best movie of 2025. Oh yeah, let me retweet that. I'm not gonna retweet this nigga that's over here hating like, oh, I don't think it's that good. That's fine. Let me go to the person that is uplifting it. You know what I
Change the
mean?
algorithm.
So right, just put a different tone out there. And I feel like that's the best kind of way to go about it. And not only in these kind of situations, but with other things as well. So it's just, negativity is a monster.
Yeah.
It's a demon.
Yep.
It's Freddy Krueger for real.
Who was white?
So was Pennywise. Somebody's like, but Candyman was black. Candyman only came after you if you said his name. Outside of that, he was minding his motherfucking business.
You know what Candyman is? He is the representation of don't come for me unless I send for you. In all honesty, don't call my name at all. I didn't ask you to put my name in your mouth, but you wanted to try. He is also FAFO. You fucked around and you found out.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Because if you look at it, Freddy Krueger, when he pop up, he did it because he wanted to. He's just pop up like,
you.
I'm coming after you. Pennywise, if you'd have got your monkey ass out of Derry, he wouldn't be. You wanted to come back home.
Can you imagine if he were to get out of that town? I cannot wait till the prequel comes out. I am so excited for the prequel.
That's going to be crazy. But then again, Are we gonna yell about representation?
So
Are Latinos gonna yell? And look,
they
I
pro-
don't mean to lump them in because of this one video, but it's not just one video. There were multiple videos,
Mhm.
to the point where people started coming in and saying, "Yo, wait a minute." Kugler literally said, "Yes, if you see From Dusk Till Dawn in this, cool, because it's an inspiration. But I really patterned this movie more as Salem's Lot than From Dusk Till Dawn." And I think people see it because, oh, well, they're in this bar and they got to survive the night. And that's it. That's it. Oh,
and
well,
the
smoking
and the
crack are
brothers.
thieves. They're brothers and they're thieves.
But I mean, all right. So when I saw this film, I can
Mm-hmm.
see Salem's Lot and I can see From Dusk Till Dawn. I
Uh-huh.
can see The Faculty
I saw the
and
faculty more than, well, no. I saw them all equally. Salem's Lot I saw the most because of the vampire rules,
so let
and
me
the fact that it starts with one and then it just expands.
let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this I think yesterday because when I look at it, they could have honestly the second half of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
you could have changed the element from the villain being a vampire to the clan. And with a
Mm-hmm.
few other minor changes, this movie could have been completely different. I feel like if you change the second half of this film, it does not interrupt anything in the first half,
Nope.
which is why I think this movie is so beautifully done. To where like that first half could have been something completely different
Right.
and didn't have to be a vampire film. And I think that's where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people probably might not, which is why they probably wouldn't consider the Sinners as much of a vampire movie because you don't see vampires throughout. They were kind of
Yeah.
secondary, and we kind of discussed that on the review. And I was thinking, I was just like, well, damn, like if I was to change the villain of the movie to somebody like to do the clan or something else.
Let's say it's Hogwarts and his crew. They show up at night
Right, exactly.
and they did the
And,
Night Rider thing, you
yeah.
know. And now Jason Whitlock would literally blow up. Now he'd lose his damn mind.
Why are all
You
these
know.
white people killing these black people? You're making them a villain. Like he's gonna find something.
Yeah. Why are you
So
killing all these white folks? What did they do to you? And it's like, yeah, well, let's go back in
you didn't
history
see them
there.
put up that cross that's in the front of the juke.
But I
But
mean, well, they was just trying to bring them the light of God.
oh, that's
Oh,
what it was.
that's
And
what it was.
electricity went out, even though they put it out. So they said, let's burn the cross to give them
Cross.
light in the juke, even though we
Exactly.
busted out the electricity. Ah, yeah.
That's
They
the
be
way.
switching stuff.
That's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. It's
Rewriting
goalposts. It's the
history.
goalposts moving constantly, and the rules are changing constantly. The rules were made to protect and give the advantage to the rule maker. Period.
There
That's
you
it.
go.
That's it. And it just so happens, like at first I said I wanted to talk about was the young man Shadur? Is it Shadur Sanders, Dion's son, and the whole
Ah, yeah.
debacle with him?
And the
Because it
Browns.
all fits into what we're talking about. Black excellence kind of brings up black confidence, and
You can't get too confident
can't get too
because once you
confident.
get to that ceiling, they're gonna be like, nah, we need to break you down. We need to
Yeah,
humble you. And for anybody to feel like they have to do that to somebody else because you just like, oh, they too high on their horse right now.
right. And that's what they did with this movie. When people like Rebecca Rubin and other writers who were movie critics were saying, Sinners is the #1 box office film in America. Asterisk. Why is there an asterisk? Is this like the Thunderbolts? Are they going to change the title? What's going on? And then when you go to read what the asterisk meant was, well, but the movie was had a $90 million budget and it didn't make it. Okay, break something down to me. How many movies in their first week make or go above their budget?
Listen, the
The Avengers
blacks,
films never done it.
they be like the blacks. They it's and the thing is you have people that follow these critics
Mm-hmm.
and they were just like, I've never seen them discuss a film as disrespectful and as nasty as they did Sinners.
Yep.
And that's when you just like, wow.
Right.
So
At first, I was gonna say um the I was gonna say Do the Right Thing, but Do the Right Thing got its controversy because the movie was controversial. But I have to say Roger Ebert put, you know, he dropped the hammer on a lot of critics. But then again, Roger Ebert was married to a black woman, so he understood the assignment. Um it coming into Sinners, we saw people like Ben Stiller going off. Like,
yeah.
why is this movie getting this kind of write up? You had people like Tom Cruise who was like, "Oh no, if you're not watching Sinners, you're not watching movies."
And to get a Tom Cruise, like, because he
Yeah.
rarely even tweets. I thought that was so funny.
And but they had all these people from Hollywood who were white who came and stood up and said, "Wait, I don't think y'all are doing this uh for any reason but to diminish the success of this original film. Period. Game over."
Let me throw black. Let me throw black in there.
Hmm.
Black film. And
Yeah.
and it's just like they'll they'll sit up here and say race is not an issue, race is
Hmm.
not a factor,
We don't see color.
but we don't see color. But there's so many instances where obviously it's a different type of behavior you're putting towards this project than this
Hmm.
project. And I'm going to use the example of Ironheart that drops the end of June.
Right.
The MCU has not, excuse me, Marvel has not rarely done any kind of promotion for that project that
Nope.
is being led by a black woman. The first project that they have leading being led by a black woman. Trailer hasn't dropped. We saw a teaser, but not a full trailer.
Right.
And so you're seeing all of this, and it's very unfortunate because you are setting projects up for failure on purpose,
Hmm.
which doesn't make sense to me, especially being that you have two movies dropping. You just had
Right.
Thunderbolts and then you had Fantastic Four. So it's like y'all can sit up here and tell me one thing, but I'm seeing the opposite happen in real time.
Yeah. And again, like I said, and I feel bad for projects like Ironheart because it got caught in the "we gotta trim the fat, Bob Iger's back" era. Bob Iger just went in and said, "Oh no, all of this, that's gotta go.
Gone. Yeah.
That gotta go. This gotta get trimmed," and it's like, well, look, we already have stuff shot. Let's just put it out. And I think they're gonna treat Ironheart almost like, yo, this was already done. Let's just get it out. We'll see what comes of it. And I think it's unfair, and it's not, even if it was white led, let's do that. If it was all white cast,
It would still be wrong.
it would still be wrong. These folks put their heart and souls
Yeah.
into it. Now, yes, the actors got paid, the cat, the crew got paid, but people make things in entertainment like this to be seen by the masses, and then whatever comes from it, right? So I still like the fact that they're gonna put it out. I do love the fact that I think, me personally, now that Thunderbolts has its run, now it's a new title. Not going to spoil it. You need to go check it out if you want to see it. I think Marvel, I would say, what are we right now? May 11th. On this day, it's Mother's Day. I got a strong feeling we're going to start seeing things quite possibly the third or final week of this month, which is not the smartest move. I get it. It's not.
not.
It's not. But if done right, this can pull something. I'm just saying. I'm trying to have some hope.
I hope you're right. I
you
hope
know,
you're right, Anthony. Because the thing is,
I'm
like,
staying optimistic.
you're going to be going against blockbuster movies dropping soon,
Right.
and
Well, that's a
it's
movie.
summer.
And this is television. And
But-
okay, yeah,
right.
you're right. Summer,
But so I
everybody's
mean,
outside. There's
right?
the beach,
People like watching a show that
Oh.
they're not being hit with that much.
and it's
it's-
dropping near a major holiday too.
Right, and but then it's
You're
dropping a week before, I believe, Fantastic Four. Or no, it's
No, 2
Fantastic Four
weeks.
the beginning, 2 weeks
No.
before Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is on the 11th. No,
July?
no. Superman is July 11th. Fantastic
Okay.
Four is the week after, which I think
Okay.
is the 18th or the 16th.
So about
Yeah.
3 weeks before.
Right.
And Marvel
Right.
is going to try to be pushing that because
Fantastic
it's
Four
going
like crazy.
against Superman and Jurassic Park.
Yeah, fuck them dinosaurs.
So, but so I'm just like, you're thinking their marketing is focusing on that to
Yeah.
where they are going. And I hate that I don't want to say this probably will happen, but I'm just being realistic. They're going to be like, put our marketing budget towards that. And if people watch Ironheart, they watch it, but that's not the biggest thing coming up next.
Yeah.
Even though that's a future major character that you're going to have in the MCU,
Right.
having her own show. So,
And I think sadly she may be lost in the dust once we get Tony back for Doomsday. Even though it's Victor Von Doom, you still bringing back a heavy hitter. And people are going to be, oh, well, yeah, we need Iron Man. We don't need Ironheart. And I think it's...
Did they show her chair? They probably didn't.
No.
But I guess even if you did show her chair, would people remember who she is? Because you're not pushing that project.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I think as a people, and this is where the double-edged sword comes in too, because with things that we've done are things that they want to they grasp on, they clasp and put their grips in. Most times if they promote it like a normal promotion run, a normal promo run, and it doesn't work well, oh well, that was a waste of money, so we're not going to put money to the next project. But if they don't promote it and it becomes this hit, now it's like one or two things happen. Or we're going to over promote, or we're not going to promote because they know it's there already, so they're going to come and get it. It's almost like I don't have to tell you that this is here. You're going to find it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird because Ironheart, we know who Riri Williams is.
Right.
Whether you read the comic books or you saw Wakanda Forever. But a casual viewer don't know who she is.
Yeah, because they haven't seen her in 2 years.
Right.
So let me ask you this, because I know we spoke about this previously on our Fight Night review. Y'all check that out. And I asked y'all, do you think it's our responsibility as viewers, specifically I'm going to say Black viewers, support Black projects? Do you think it's our responsibility to promote these projects on our social media platforms? And I want to piggyback on that and saying, if we have a nice following, if we're promoting these projects, which we would do free without any type of income coming in, to where we're giving them free marketing.
Yeah.
Do you think let me use Marvel. Do you think Marvel is somewhat betting on that, to where it's just like, we don't have to put money into promoting this project because we have people on socials are just going to push it regardless?
It would be a bad bet for them.
I would agree. Yes.
Because just like, I think at the end of the day, blurs will jump on it. There's going to be word of mouth, but no one follows. Everybody don't follow everybody. And those blurs don't have, and I'm talking about people like and who I love and listen to, Fantastic Frankie, Angelique Roche, hell, my queen of blurdom, the blurred girl, oh man, Kara Mahorn. And yes, I did 3 women because they are amazing. Hell, DJ Ben Amin from Fan Bros, they have an amazing following, but they don't have that casual following.
Right.
So us blurs are going to go and watch it. Love it or hate it, we're going to watch it. Now we're going to talk our shit in our own little sections. But for an organic marketing scheme to kick in, that's grassroots, the casual viewer is gonna have to be one of the lucky influencers or blurred folk. They would have to catch the casual person at the right time where they're just going through TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. And it's like, oh, all right, okay, let me check it out. Oh my God, this is great. Now you have the water cooler talk. Have you been
Right.
watching this? Have you seen it? Y'all should go check it out. It's great. So you got to kind of hope. It's a huge bet.
Yeah.
It's a huge bet, especially for a character who is new, regardless if she had an appearance in an MCU film. It's gonna be something to work on. You gotta, yeah. Kevin Feige should have the Ironheart trailer dropping tomorrow.
Yeah.
Press run should be happening. That young lady should be out there pushing this show.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to bring her out and y'all do Zoom calls, Zoom is for free.
Yeah.
Hey, need you to jump on this. Talk about the show. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bap. You know, it's but again, should we support? Yes. Now this is where the wallow conversation comes in. Just because it's black, don't mean it's good.
That's true.
But I'm the type of person where I'm like, I give you, if it's a television show, I give you 3 episodes. If it's a restaurant, if I don't get the bubble guts the first time, I'm coming back a second time. Hopefully the food gets better. Because sometimes you catch people on off days.
And you know what's
So-
crazy? I'm sorry.
No,
What were you about to
I'm
say?
just saying. So it's really up to us to say, okay, if we're gonna pull a Issa Rae and say I'm rooting for everyone black, then we got to be real about it. We really got to be realistic about how we do it. You know, because at the end of the day, we can make or we can break our own. Real
Very
quick,
fast.
and
Very
yes.
fast.
You know. And if the studios see that, oh well, the blacks don't like it, well, why are we doing it? Because keep
Right.
in mind, what folks don't understand, black folks have saved this country a lot,
The black dollar is something
which
very
is very
strong.
weird.
The black dollar is very strong. And I'm like, y'all, if we come like be united with it,
Mhm.
especially if we kept it in our own community, oh my God.
It'd be sadistic.
Right. And they would be pissed off at that.
But
Why y'all not
again,
supporting me over here?
no. Y'all are fine. You can go get your coal miners from West Virginia, your Bible belts in the Midwest. Y'all are good. Y'all are what? 60% of the population? You're fine. You're fine.
Mm.
But even having a big population means you got a lot more broke ass motherfuckers too.
And it's a lot of broke ass motherfuckers out there.
Broke. So for me, I'm just more of, I'm very much, if it's good, I'm jumping on it.
For sure.
You know, but if it's black, I'm going to support it. But you have 3 episodes to catch me.
It's 6 in total.
It's 6 in total. Okay, so I'm giving
Yeah.
you 50%.
Yeah.
50% of my time. And
And-
I want to support it because, look, the first Thor film was not the best film, but it did make some money. So they did a second one. Now, the second one wasn't great at all. Good Lord, no.
Terrible. Terrible.
But they continue to move on.
He's about to have 5.
Exactly.
More than anybody.
And we know Love and Thunder was just...
I don't know.
that they should have called that piss and vinegar. Because it just was
Whew.
not good. It was
It
not
was-
good. I felt heartbroken because out of all Marvel characters, I have it's slim pickings for me. The Hulk is number 1. No, Dr. Doom is my all-time favorite character. Of all time. All time. Greatest villain ever. Fuck the Joker. Fuck Lex. Fuck them all. It's Dr. Doom. I'd break it down for you, but this ain't the type of show. But Thor is one of my favorite characters. And it's because how Stan Lee used to write him, because it was very Shakespearean. It was doth and diveth and hitteth and weigheth. And, you know, it was this royal language, and the art was just beautiful because it's fucking Jack Kirby. But now you're going into your 5th film, and Marvel is sticking with you. Sticking with you. Out of all the original Avengers, you are still here. Please, Thor 5 be good. But again,
Yeah.
we ain't talking about white people. We ain't talking about white excellence. We talking about black excellence.
Right. But I was gonna add, like, in regards to Ironheart, you have Anthony Ramos,
Yes,
who
who is
is
Latino.
also in Ironheart.
Yes.
Him and Dominique should be on press tours right
Heavy.
now,
Heavy.
doing this film. Like, I'm just like, what is going on?
I really think, again, this is the Bob Iger run. And it's nothing against Bob Iger. I mean, he righted the ship with Disney. Disney's been losing money. He got them back to where they're profitable. You know, everything is profit now. I think it's not a DE&I situation. Because if that was the case, even with Anthony Mackie being Captain America, they wouldn't be having him promote anything. You know, I think it was just Marvel falling on their face, and now they're trying to get their composure, and a lot of things, like they were discombobulated, and they didn't put focus on what needed to be focused, and they like, we got to clean house, everything, scrap it all. We're starting from scratch, and Ironheart just kind of lucked out and still got made, and didn't get killed, but it's just kind of sitting in the corner like, oh yeah, we made that. We're gonna put it out.
Do you think
show some love?
Do you think the reason why it's not getting promoted like it deserves is because her story isn't going to move the needle as much as to what our road to get to Doomsday? It's like her side story,
Yeah.
so where you don't have to watch that to know anything about Riri between now and Doomsday.
Yeah, I think if it came out earlier, she would have a little more a better standing in Marvel Entertainment as a whole, in the Marvel Studios lineup, Marvel Studios, Marvel Television. It's just, I don't think Ironheart rolled Snake Eyes, but it damn sure didn't hit a 7 or 11 on the first row.
Right.
And it's the hope, Lil Joe hit, it's kind of like, so it's going to be the luck of the draw for Ironheart. I just think if they would have put it out, say, last year, I think it would have been okay. Maybe a year before that, I think we'd have been okay.
Because, like, as of right now, the two projects that we've gotten already this year were grounded heroes.
Yes.
Because you got Daredevil, and then you got Thunderbolts, and then you have Ironheart. All three grounded hero projects, and then you get
Captain
the Fantastic
America.
Four. And Captain. So it's just like we just been getting grounded heroes the entire time. So ideally, with what we've been getting, I can see an opportunity for her series to be successful, because it's not like we're getting these god hero projects and then grounded hero. Everybody's been grounded all year so far, but all of those projects. But you remember we had a discussion with Captain America 4 that didn't get the promotion that it deserved either.
With the reshoots, with again,
right.
Fat needed to be chopped from it. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Do you think Daredevil got promoted a lot? I personally don't remember too many Daredevil promotions. I just knew I needed to watch the last 3 seasons.
Daredevil was 100% riding on the greatness of No Way Home, but also just riding on the fact that the Netflix series was just so damn good. Even when the second season, but that first and third season, insane.
So where they probably didn't even need to promote it that much.
They didn't have to, because the fan outpour brought Daredevil back. Charlie Cox saying, look, if you don't bring me, and if myself and Vincent, as well as Deborah, and I can't remember who plays Foggy, if you don't get them, I'm not coming. It's not going to work. So that was
Foggy.
Well,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey.
I ain't gonna
say. Hey, man. Hey. Jazz,
no spoiling that.
I'm not spoiling anything. I just know.
Hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga.
You know,
That working
so
and not the applause is
that working is
crazy.
trifling.
It
Riverside,
was great though.
check
It was
check your
great.
stuff at the door. But no, I think in the long run, and we get getting back on track of what this episode is all about. Um, I don't think Ironheart is feeling the neglect because it's a black led show. I think the optics will say different because it is a black female led show. I just think it was poor planning, and dear God, look where you fall. And it's
Yeah.
Marvel scrambling right now, just trying to make things fit. I don't think they're throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. I think the game plan is there. I think it's there. I think once we get through Fantastic Four, I think everything is going to be like, okay, we see where this is going. So I have hope for Ironheart. And yes, I will use my skin color and not the content of the character of the show. I am going to support it. But you got 3 episodes. You got 3. And that's giving you one more than I usually do for shows that don't have us in it. So I give you that black grace, you know, because I want to see stories that we do succeed. I want to see moments where we are shining to shine bright,
Right.
whether it's at a fashion show or the Met Gala or in sports or in entertainment or in politics or just in life in general. We deserve to have moments in the sun. We are the sun people. Get out of here. We deserve that. And it's not entitlement. That is just straight up fact. It's not privileged. That is just what it is. You can't come in and tell us for way over, and I'm gonna call out and I'm gonna talk about our ancestry, our African ancestry. And look, y'all can look at me. I don't look like I come from the continent. I live right here in Louisiana. I know my racial makeup, but I know when I go in them streets, they ain't looking at me like no Cajun. They ain't looking at me like I'm Native American. They looking at me,
Like a
where I'm
nigga.
getting. So to look at that ancestry and see where from there to here and to see the great things that came from it, even though through the oppression and through, you know, the turmoil and havoc and the PTSD that that comes with every generation. Nah, you can't tell me no different. We ain't a great people. You can't tell me no different. We can't be excellent. You can't. I do have that moment like in Queen and Slim, Jason's favorite movie, where old boy told old girl, "Can I just be normal? Can I be mid range? Can I be average? Why do I have to go so high to do this? While other folks can be mediocre at
Mm.
best and still have a way to succeed.
We don't have that privilege.
It's not so no, when we do big, I applaud it. When we do low, I'm like, okay, we can always do better. But even sometimes, even when you're going low, you still hit the target. You
Yeah.
still, something good still comes from it, you know? And that's why when people started looking at, and I'll go back to Shador Sanders, who got picked in the 5th round, mind you. And a lot of folks were saying, no, that was bug breaking. That was them to humble him and do things like that. I will go with y'all great white hype. No, let's just call him Hope because he is sadly the greatest quarterback in the world. I still don't like Tom Brady, but I
I
do
don't either.
recognize his achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady said, look, I was picked 199th. And that's the thing I hope Shador Sanders look at it and say, use that as motivation to show everybody in the league, to show everybody who commentated, who made, crass remarks, who was trying to compare. I can't remember the brother that got drafted in the 1st round. They was using him as he's a good Negro. He doesn't wear jewelry.
You
He's
talking
not
about Lamar?
flashy. Not Lamar Jackson. Just got drafted.
Oh, you talking about Caleb Williams
Is it him? Caleb?
that played for Chicago?
He just got drafted this year?
Caleb was just in his freshman rookie year season.
No,
Or
no, no.
Jalen Williams, Daniels, Jaden
No.
Daniels.
Okay, no, I can't remember his name. They had a picture of him. He had a brown suit on. They were talking about how he's not wearing jewelry. He got drafted this year with Shador. He was in the first round.
Oh, I don't know them new niggas.
Oh,
I don't know them till they get on the NFL
young gentleman,
field.
young man. I'm not gonna call you a YN.
My
I
bad.
agree. We need to not call them boys them YNs.
My bad, black brother, successful young king.
Let me see. But they were using him as the perfect Negro template, right? The safe Negro template, and it's so disrespectful to him.
That
You
is
know,
so
trying to pit
crazy
him
to
and
me.
Shador, like, you see, this will get you places, but dressing like this and wearing chains and coming in supposedly overconfident.
But Anthony, that's a tactic they have been using for years
Right.
in different areas to try to pit us against each other.
And that's, you know, and again, okay, got him. Oh, he was number one, Cam Ward out of Miami.
Mm.
He got the U. Now, we all remember the stories of the U. Michael Irvin, you know, them folks. If not, go see the documentary. It's amazing. It's on ESPN 30 for 30, the U. But to use him as this safe Negro template to make Shador come off like an
Arrogant.
arrogant, overconfident. Some of them even wanted to equate Thug in it because he was wearing platinum chains and he's got diamonds. Look, man, don't be mad because you don't look good with diamonds dancing around your neck.
The nastiest part is seeing black men say that about him,
which is ridiculous.
I just be like,
and look, I get it. Shador is not the greatest thing since sliced bread. His numbers are strong, but one thing, yeah, and their season wasn't against powerhouses, so he can show it off. They were playing smaller teams, less powerful teams. But his interview, it was the way he spoke. It was the way he da da da. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is kind of like Gilbert Arenas when he did the pre-draft for the NBA and he went to do the media day and they asked him, so what do you want to get out of being in the NBA? Why are you in the NBA? And he goes, I want to be a pimp. And Gilbert Arenas is a jokester. He's a goofball. Damn great player, Agent Zero, till the end. But he said, wait, say that. Why do you want to be in the NBA? And he goes, because I want to be an international pimp.
that's dreams right there.
But you see, that's 2001. That's before internet. That's before you could become a viral sensation. Now your ass didn't get picked. And they waited for you in the second round. Then you went to the Warriors. But again, it's the humbling. It's that we're going to break him. We're going to show him you need us. We don't need you. And the funny thing is, I've always said, if you take all the black athletes out of every sport, it'll probably be the most boring thing you'll ever see.
Nobody's watching the NFL. Ain't nobody watching that. Ain't nobody watching that.
Basketball? You think I want to see some tall European dudes just throwing threes all day?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we as a people have so much power, but it's not getting utilized.
And
because if we come together, I'm telling you,
it's being utilized, but for the wrong reasons in a lot of cases, or it's being utilized to benefit people who don't look like us.
Right. Well, I guess it's not. The power of the people who have the most power are not utilizing it to their benefit.
Right.
To where it's just like, because I remember when you had the whole Kaepernick kneeling situation, the owner at the time of the Texans
Uh-huh.
was like, the prisoners is out here controlling the prison. Or he
Yeah.
said something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people dust it off as like, oh, he's an older guy, Texas. What do you expect?
Right.
I would not want the person that, well, it lets you know how they feel about you,
Mm-hmm.
especially if the owner is saying that. And with the NFL being predominantly black, they need y'all for that organization to still be successful.
Right.
If all of y'all decided to not show up
Mm-hmm.
for a game on one single day, I'm telling you, it would be chaotic if all the black players decide to be like, nah, I'm
Yep.
not playing.
The only sport that would probably still make a grip is
Soccer?
hockey. Well, yeah, but
Soccer don't
nobody
make
watches.
in
Soccer
this
don't make that much
country.
money here in
In
America.
this country, yeah.
In this
Everywhere else,
country,
though,
yeah, everywhere else,
they
it's
love
grip,
soccer.
it's money, it's bands,
Yeah.
it's rack upon rack. That's how the young kids say it. But no, baseball would be the only sport that would still be profitable. Because if you took the blacks out of it, now, and excuse me, the black Americans, because the Dominican, I know black. Um, sure thing there,
Mhm.
Dusty. But again, you take that out, it's boring. It's boring. You know? I mean, we are there. We are interwoven into that fabric. And if you pull that thread out, it's done. It's done. Even
Definitely.
in music, you take it, no, y'all be doing the minuet and the waltz. What y'all
Would that
know about the twist and the funky chicken?
would the mixed folks still be in it?
Half.
Okay. So their
One foot
season
in,
would
one
be
foot out.
gone.
They'd have to make their choice. Or, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna give black excellence to the Catholic Church. We got a black pope. The
Isn't he from
GD will come through
Chicago?
the door.
Ain't
Huh?
he from Chicago?
He's from Chicago. By way of New Orleans. By way of Haiti. That man black.
Wow.
He passe blanc. He black.
Did they know he was black before they voted for him?
Oh, that's the biggest surprise.
They didn't
That'd
know
be a
they
big.
did.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'll say this. You got a thumbs up for it.
'Cause you-
I would say
Ooh.
Pope Leo would run out in there. I'm in, bitch. Gotcha. But you know what's crazy? Supposedly he chose the name Pope Leo, and it's the name of Pope. I forgot which Leo it is who condemned the act of slavery.
Mm.
Supposedly. I'm Catholic. I don't follow all of that. If it ain't about, if there was an anime about Catholicism, I'd be down for it. A video game about Catholicism, I'd be playing it. But to know all the history, I just know people who are this shade got beaten into it. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. But congratulations to that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had to look at him 3 times. And then I saw that nose
Oh shit.
and
He's like,
them
oh, that's a
lips.
nigga. It's like,
I was like, wait a minute. And then he got that passe blonde hair. I said, dog,
did he say he had black in him, or is people just looked up his
no, his grandfather, blue black.
mm.
He's a Mary. He's literally an octoroon or maybe a quadroon. Oh, they went back. They went back. And the funny thing is, it's like Torre said, by your one drop rule, the niggas is in the building. Oh man.
Okay.
I mean, look. And you know what I love? They pushing the whole, oh, he's the first American Pope. Yeah, but you ain't put that other look. You didn't put that adjective. Because, here in America, we don't judge by the color of your skin. We judge by the content of your character.
Mm.
America is a full meritocracy. Don't you
We
forget.
love all.
We
We
love
love
all.
all.
As long as you
All.
know your place.
Right.
Know your place.
Don't
and
speak
you will
too
be
loud.
Don't speak too loud. Make sure you stand up for the pledge.
Right.
And show all the highest of exalted joy when you see the orange baboon on your television screen, and it's all good. But it's
They got
funny
him a
though,
new
man.
plane now. A new plane. Like I'm taxpayers paid for that shit.
No,
People barely
we're literally about to pay for a military parade for this fool's birthday.
pe- people can't even get their groceries for real or pay for daycare. You know what? We vibing. Black excellence. Black
Yep.
excellence.
That's why boots on the floor, where your fans at, do what you do.
So, can I share something with you?
You can.
I went to go
We gotta
visit.
call it.
Okay, I went to go visit my parents this past week, and with their
Mm-hmm.
church group, they do like dance
Hi, Jazz's
sessions.
parents. Happy Mother's Day, Jazz mom.
Listen, so they went to a dance session. I went with them, and they were
Uh-huh.
doing boots on the ground. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
older people in there dancing. I'm just like, oh, because my parents are retired. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm glad y'all doing something active. And my mother had her fan and everything. She was like, one of the church people was like, come on, asking me to get on. I was like, nah, sis. I had just
I'm
worked a
still
10-hour
active.
day. I just worked a
Right.
10-hour day. I was like, I'm just here because see my parents doing their little thing.
Y'all
But
have y'all boots on the floor. My butt is in this seat.
listen, I said no. But I think it's funny that, because you see stuff like, okay, America's going to shit, but what the black folks doing? Learning boots on the ground
Yep.
with their fans.
Got their fans. When that man said, "Where your fans at?" They just like breeze. Done. I mean, you can only do so much for so long. I can only show you the error of your ways so long. Now you have to, how they said, you made your bed, you got to lie in it. A hard head makes a soft ass. You wrote too many checks that your mouth or your vote wrote too many checks. Now your ass got to cash them, and you're literally learning you got insufficient funds. It's done, and you ain't got no NSF protection. Now you're gonna have to quote Kendrick Lamar, who quoted somebody said, "Every dog has its day, and now it's time for you to live in your purpose."
Yeah.
So what can you do? What can you do?
Try to find
But
something peaceful for us to keep
yep.
us.
That's why I play games like South of Midnight and Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. I'm just trying to stay calm and find a job. That is it. I ain't got nothing else for you. But we got to wrap this up. But before we go, I do have a question of the pod. I know it's usually given by that beautiful ray of sunshine, Miss Araya Anderson.
Pressure.
But today, since we spoke about sinners and we talked in about our excellence in media, life, and culture, and blah, 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 blah. My question for you, Jazz, as well as all the viewers, all 5 of y'all, if Hollywood came and said, we want to do a movie about your life, who would be the actor to portray you in your biopic or biopic?
I'm gonna, off the top of my head, I'm gonna say Keke Palmer.
That's gonna be a country ass movie, man.
Wait a minute! Why it's gotta be country?
I'm Keke Palmer. I don't know. It's just something about Keke. Keke might not. Where's Keke from? Where's she born?
I have no idea.
She sounds like she from Kentucky, maybe Georgia. But no, I love Keke Palmer, man. But she feels so down home to me. But that's a good choice, though.
She's from Illinois.
She from
Harvey, Illinois.
Straight, I guarantee you, her grandfather from Mississippi.
She's 5'6" and she's 31 years old. My lion age is 29, so that's perfect.
Perfect age. All right, got you.
Who you got?
Oh, girl, that's automatically. We're like twins. Idris Elba.
So wait. Idris is not even from here. Yo, he gonna be on some Stringer Bell type of shit. Like, yeah.
And then he got to come with this old crazy ass Louisiana accent, Lafayette to be specific. No, it would not be. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. People say I look like him, Anthony Anderson.
I can see that. Yes.
Anthony Anderson, because my whole thing is a comedy. Ain't no tragedy in this. Ain't gonna be no tragedy. This is just straight up comedy. It's gonna be straight up craziness. Anthony Anderson. I think it would be funny as hell just to see Anthony Anderson play me.
I like it.
Because we're both chubby. We were chubby. We lost weight. We both got the sugars. He's got the money. I got the sugars still. So he's selling barbecue at Arby's. I got the sugars. He was once unemployed. I am currently unemployed. We are twins. Twins.
I see it.
And I want Kendrick Lamar to do my soundtrack.
Oh,
Yep.
I like it.
And it's nothing but diss tracks to Drake.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I was thinking like a mix of his latest album with some Black Panther in there, but the
No.
petty gonna be like, nah, just all
Just
diss
pettiness.
records.
Just a petty fucking it and I want my shit to be on Lifetime.
What? Why? Netflix is right there. Nah.
You know how many distraught white housewives and black housewives gonna
Oh,
be
they were
watching that
definitely
movie?
watching that shit. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Girl, money.
Man, my shit might be on the ID network.
Hey, girl, knowing you, it might be an episode of Snapped.
It might be.
I don't know. I don't know.
I hope
But
not. If
I'd
so,
watch it.
this clip is gonna be crazy. Anthony gonna be like, Jazz did what? Oh shit, we talked about that.
This Keke Palmer in A Touch of Jazz, the Jasmine Sandals story. I'm like, wait, what?
Nah, that's crazy. I would watch that.
I would too. And then I would make a video just dogging it, contract, and get the negative reaction because clickbait. I got to get paid.
I feel that.
We
I
got
feel
to
that.
eat.
Tag the pod.
Negative Negroes got to eat. So, all right, that's it. We got to go. We got to wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for checking this out. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope the topic was something that, kind of makes you think. And we want to hear from y'all. We didn't have any viewer comments this episode, but if you have something to say, we want to hear from you. Join the conversation. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, leave it in the comment section. We will read it. We do read it. Why? Because you're a part of this family. You are a friend to us. So join our conversation and leave a comment and we'll make sure to read it. If this is your first time watching, hey, thank you. We love you for it. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button. It'll only take a second. Hit that like button. Let's get the algorithm working in our favor. Positive content, people. So hit that like button, blue thumbs up because blue thumbs are cool, and hit the bell. Change your notifications to all so you'll be notified when the next episode drops. And you can literally sit and watch us talk our ish and have you be a part of it. Wouldn't that be fun? Of course it would. Don't be ridiculous. Shout out to Belky. Perfect strangers. I'm old, y'all. You got to learn to live with it. Jazz, thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I am so glad you showed up because it would have just been me. And then it would be like, I guess, talking alone, a conversation, a podcast about my, amongst myself. But thank you so much for being a part of it. Jazz, before we go, please let everybody know where they can watch. Once again, Was It Good Though podcast, y'all. Was It Good Though podcast.
Thank you so much,
Promo that
Anthony, for allowing me on. It's always a great time to discuss and chat with you and geek out. Yes,
Girl,
the
you
Was
the
It
fifth
Good-
Beatle. We always gonna call on you.
I appreciate that. But yes, I am one half of the Was It Good Though podcast. We drop new episodes every Tuesday. We review movies and TV shows. This week, we have our part 2 of Sinners Review. Anthony and Helene was definitely on our episode. The discussion was crazy. Part 2 gets wilder than the first. It was a good discussion, so we decided to break that up, and we do have our Thunderbolts dropping after that. You can follow us on socials. We are on every platform. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. Again, thank you so much, Anthony, for chatting with me today. It's
Oh, girl.
good time.
We
Good
ain't,
vibes.
we ain't, look, you not a mama. I ain't.
Right. Right.
Let's have a conversation. Let
Let's
us do
talk.
while all the mamas and everybody is just enjoying their day. Let's just do what we do. But
Look,
Jazz,
yeah.
once again, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This was episode 154. That's right, 154
Mm.
episodes of this. We are
169 coming up soon.
dear God, don't remind me. I don't know. We gonna need a whole lot of holy water for that episode. But hey yo, we are 46 episodes away from 200. We're gonna do something special. I hope I can get the logistics working. And if we do, trust me, you're gonna love it. You are going to love it. All right, y'all. That is it. That is all. I am Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro, saying if you out in them streets, please be good. But if you can't be good, be careful. Until next time, peace.
Cheers.